Alrighty, welcome aboard everyone. And this is Virtual Collage Jam, and we're back. It is May 17th, and our theme today is, what is our theme today? It's the fashion, that's it. So, I have a big stack of fashion magazines to play with, so looking forward to that. And I will shortly switch us over to an overhead camera, but I just want to say hello. Hope you're doing well in the middle of the extended lockdown here. And at least it's a beautiful day out, and we do have an end in sight. A bunch of us have had our first jabs, so things are going well. Things are looking up, and and hello, Francoise. Welcome aboard. Nice to have you here. And what else? So Kim will probably stick her head in a few minutes, but she won't be joining us this time around. She is, excuse me, she's madly getting together stuff for her father's memorial, which will be on Friday. So she's gathering photographs, scanning them, preparing them, finding readings, putting it all together because it's going to be on Zoom. So yeah, so she'll probably just pop through the door there and say hi at some point, but I'm flying solo today, so hope that's all right. And how are you, Francoise? How are you? What have you been cooking up? Some collages? I figure I'll get a little caffeine in now, right? Never a bad thing. Say hello. Hey, Rebecca. Yes, I definitely will. And you may or may not have heard me earlier, Rebecca, but Kim's probably going to stick her head in and say hi. So, yeah. Hello, Annie. It's all my favorite usuals are back. Hello, Anne. Welcome from Collingwood. That's wonderful. Is it as beautiful up there as it is down here? It is. Oh, it's good for the soul to see the green leaves coming out. Maybe I'll show you the view out my window before I switch the camera to overhead, because all the green leaves are coming out. It's just a beautiful thing. Hey, Jane. Welcome aboard. Welcome back. And yeah, 20-ish degrees, mild, sunny. What's not to like, right? Wow. So if you're joining us for the first time, everyone in the chat is our regulars. So, but just in case you're joining us for the first time, Collage Jam started shortly after the first lockdown as a way to spend some time collaging with each other, to actually have some artistic community, even though we're shut out of our classes. And I have to say, it's just become a beautiful thing that I love to do. I really love to be able to, first of all, play along. Often as an instructor, I don't, right? Because I'm madly wandering around talking to people, which is as it should be, or teaching. But in this format, I get to do it myself as well, which is fun. And you guys get to watch and or not watch, play along, work on your own stuff. So it's great. Just say hi to some of the people who are showing up in the chat. Hey, Judy. Yeah, it will be nice. I originally thought she might feel up to it, but she's getting there. But you know, it's a long process. So yeah. So, and hey, Joy, welcome. Sunfish today. Wow. Yeah. So what do you mean? Are you actually seeing sunfish out? Lots of birds. Yeah, definitely. And your spring is, I'm sure, a little bit ahead of ours out there. So yeah. And Jane says she's sitting on her deck. Oh, yes, exactly. Well, yes, there is a little bit of a breeze where I am. So yeah. Collage and outdoors is a trick, isn't it? It's like collaging with a fan on. Hey, Sharon. Yay! Welcome back. You may have heard that Kim is going to stick her head in at some point, so and say hi. Um, so I have no real plan today. Sometimes I have an idea, and sometimes I have time to sort of think about an idea and sort of gather some materials to have a plan. Not so much today. So, so all I'm going to do is I'm just going to riff. I'm going to use it as like a chance to just do some playing and not and see what the materials suggest to me. So yeah, I don't have any plan yet, but maybe after I've been at it for a few minutes, I will. And I think I'll also, famous last words, right? Because I've said this before. I think I'll do several little ones, just like quick studies, and then because that always the way that starts is I start doing a quick little study, and then it gets interesting, and then next thing you know, the jam is over, and I'm halfway done the first one, right? Rebecca said she was sitting outdoors, but they're redoing ballot. Oh yeah, so yeah, really. I bet you it's really noisy and dusty and etc. So yeah. Renovations are great when they're done, but they're not so great when they're being done, especially when they're your neighbors. When they're yours, it's kind of like at least you're thinking you're doing the work, right? So and you're going to reap the reward. But when someone next door is doing it, it's on their schedule, and it's like, oh, I'm trying to have a meeting, or I'm trying to sleep, or whatever, right? Joy says sunny and very green. Yes, it's very green here too. West Coast rain. Yep. Jane has no plan either. So, she has some idea. You do have some idea, but none. Tell Kim we'll miss her. Absolutely. Hey, Cherie, welcome back. Yes, I failed to mention I am in my studio. So some of you who have taken classes with me will see me from here. Our dining room which is where we normally do Collage Jam from, is chock-a-block with her godmother's papers, because we're power of attorney and she has Alzheimer's and she's waiting for long-term care. So we're like sifting through all of that stuff, trying to get up to speed on that. And and also stuff for her father's memorial. So it looks like a sort of dry, boring collage bomb has gone off, full of bills and important papers and so on. So yeah, so I'm here for this time around, but I've got a little tripod set up for an overhead camera, so I'm going to give that a whirl in a minute. So hopefully that'll work. And in fact, here comes Speak of the Devil.
The devil? I thought it was an angel.
The angel, yes.
Oh, here's a stool.
Yes. We'll grab Kim a little, we'll give her the cushy chair.
No, you stay in that because I'll get up and leave, so.
All right. Annie says she's behind, going to work on squares using this book of 5,500 quilt block designs.
Whoa,
that is like a major tome. That's so exciting. How cool is that? Yeah, from over a decade. Wow. Sharon Kirsch is very happy to see you. You'll see hearts and heart eyes, and yeah. Ta-da!
Yeah, sorry, I was just speaking to a local health integration network, something or other person.
Yep.
About my godmother. So
yeah, I was explaining to them that what you were mired in and what our dining table looked like. Instead of the collage bomb has gone off, it's the organization of all the dry, boring bills and official paperwork, etc.
And
memorial stuff. Yes. So,
yeah. And I have a class tomorrow that I have to prep for. So woo! Anyway,
everybody's very happy to see you. Yeah. So yes, me too, actually.
Aw, thanks.
Yeah, she's had some dark nights of the soul recently, and she's also had some pretty good times, right? Like So up and down,
yeah,
quite a lot. I mean, roller coaster, right? Good times is probably the wrong phrase, but
that sounds wrong.
No, it does. But
there've been some beautiful moments.
Yeah, exactly.
In the midst of challenges. Yeah.
Judy says it's good to see you.
Aw, thank you.
Lots of people have said it's good to see you. Cherie and Rebecca and
it's good to see you in the chat.
Yeah. So Annie says hi.
So what are you doing today?
So I was just explaining to them today that sometimes I have a plan and today I don't, but the theme is it's the fashion. And so
can I steal that cover?
No, I want that cover. No, that one you can?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, thank you.
we often fight over materials. Kim likes this one, so it's hers.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I thought you were referring to...
It speaks to me related to stuff that's going on right now, so thank you.
I thought she meant this one, which you can see it goes with what I'm wearing, so I have to use that one. So Jane says you're looking good.
Aw, thanks. I'm wearing my Cambodian t-shirt.
Yes, it's got, I think it's sort of like a diagrammatical, right?
It's the alphabet.
The alphabet.
One side is the this is the vowels, and the back has the consonants.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why it has the little dotted line rectangles.
For what could go in between it.
So that shows where the consonants would be, and then the placement of the vowels.
Oh, so they go around. They sort of go in and around.
Like Hebrew and Arabic are the same way about vowels.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
My linguist wife, I tell you. Judy says, "You guys are so amazing, so adaptable, and always welcoming." Oh, it's great, and great to be with you, and great to be with you, Joy. So yeah, no, this is where we like to be.
Community.
Jane says, I like that shirt. I noticed it as soon as you took off your other shirt. Very cool.
Yeah, my mother brought it back from Cambodia. It's been her lifelong dream to visit Cambodia. Angkor Wat is there, and other things as well. Literally, like since she was 13, she'd wanted to visit there. But for the first time in her life, I forget how many years ago it was now, but 10 years ago, something like that. She said, finally, politically, it's possible to go visit Cambodia. So she snatched the opportunity.
Cherie said, so which is great.
What does Cherie say?
Cherie says she has no fashion magazines. My wardrobe looks like a nun or a penguin lives here. All black and white. Well, that's actually
black and white's
black
awesome.
and white is great. Yeah.
I mean, you can see I'm quite a fan.
Who is the style icon who wore a lot of black and white? Diane Keaton?
Diane Keaton.
Yeah, she wore a lot of black and white, and beautifully, obviously. Yeah. And you don't need a fashion magazine to make something that is in some sort of fashion. I thought it'd be great to. I don't know whether I will or not, but like if I had more brains and more time, I would have poked fun at some of the things that are fashionable, that are deemed fashionable, but are just so ridiculous, right? But because they're like history's littered with them, right?
There's a lot of really suspect menswear going down runways.
Oh my goodness, yes,
and I am an experimental person, so I do question myself every time I have a reaction against stuff like that to consider. But it would be let's just say it's not very wearable. It's not very versatile. You could only really wear it in specialized contexts.
I love, not that you'd ever guess it from what I wear, but I do love fashion, both men's and women's. And I love seeing someone who's like spent a lot of time to sort of figure out a look, whether it's a runways would never have this, but it's very cool, unique personal style or street style or couture style. If it's really interesting and the body is such a great place to play game shape and color games on, and movement, right? So, but
it's been too long since we were in Montreal.
Yes,
because that's a great place.
Yeah, absolutely, Montreal, like and presumably amazing. Many places in Europe. So,
yeah.
But
oh yeah, yeah.
And I'm sure any major center in most.
Well, like my Uncle Ging, right? He's in his 80s, well into his 80s. He lives in the Netherlands. He's fit as a fiddle. From behind, you would think he was a really fit 60-year-old just because of his hair being gray.
Yeah, and
he wears fashionable everything. Not, ridiculous fashionable,
no,
but just
really
looks
understated,
really
tasteful, beautiful, and a spring in his step like crazy.
Because he bikes everywhere, and his house is basically all the staircases are like this.
Yeah, in Amsterdam, that's the case, right? A lot of the
not just Amsterdam, because he doesn't live in Amsterdam.
No, right, but a lot of the staircases are basically a slightly slanted ladder.
A ladder that has a riser.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Hey Nellie, yay, you made it. So yeah, and she says she's here too. Happy to see Kim. Yeah, and Sharon says black is the New York high fashion look, isn't it? Absolutely.
Yeah. Perpetually.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
When we were there in the early '90s, I remember wearing a good black outfit that I had, and my New Yorker friend was palpably relieved that we were going to blend in fine. And I just thought that is so funny and so much my friend. But anyway,
I many years ago now, I bought a cool jacket at H&M, which is where I like to buy when I used to buy clothes.
Yeah, when we used to go shopping.
When we used to go shopping at H&M because I can afford it. But a cool jacket there. And then we went to London for the first time. And the first day I was in London, someone came up to me and asked for directions. And Kim said, "See, you blend in.
Yeah,
you look like a local."
So yeah.
But the accent just completely gave it away. So.
Yeah.
And I didn't know where to point them either. So so other than that, so Cherie says I was hooked when they said black makes you look thinner. Absolutely. Okay, black forevermore, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. I like black because it's an absolute.
Cal could wear white because he's plenty thin, but
both black and white show dirt awfully, but white more, right? So hence the fair bit of black in the wardrobe. Sharon Kirsch says Schitt's Creek Catherine O'Hara. Yeah, so I'll leave that to you.
She has some great looks.
Yeah, I'll leave that to you because I haven't seen it. So.
Yeah.
Rebecca says lots of artists are interested in fashion. A couple of years ago, we went to a retrospective about Georgia O'Keeffe that paired her paintings with her clothes. Oh, that would be so amazing! I wish I had seen that. Yeah. Yeah, and Frida Kahlo's personal style was unique and distinctive, and on the cover of Vogue. So, Cherie says I have a book of Frida Kahlo's outfits. Cherie also says, that'd be wonderful. I took the angle of commentary on fast fashion, the Forever 21s. Yeah, H&M consumer chain. Yeah, and they're definitely. We make our H&M clothes last as long as humanly possible. But yes, some of them aren't. But the aforementioned jacket, which I am now thinking about retiring, was bought in 2008. So I think it's done pretty well. Lasted longer than the average H&M. Because he's worn it constantly. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it looks like it now, but it definitely is ready for some visible mending. Visible mending, yep. That's right. So I'm gonna. Theme is again something about fashion. It's the fashion. Yeah. It's the fashion. Yeah. So right. I am gonna switch us over to the overhead camera, guys, and start playing. And so I'll say goodbye, so that you can. Thank you so much for coming by. Fun.
So nice to see everybody.
Big round of applause for the lady.
No, round of applause for you.
And I will move the camera as steadily as I can, but it will be a little seasick.
Seasick making, yeah.
But I'm also going to pause briefly out the window at our beautiful, well, it's a meadow, but it is beautiful and green, so that it's got that going for it. So
have fun, everybody.
Yeah, Rebecca says bye. Nice to see you, Kim. So all right, time to get this party started in earnest. Well, or maybe the party's over now that Kim's gone.
Hardly.
So all right, brace yourself for some movement. Fly you over to the window. And there's the view out the window, looking pretty spectacular. And in fact, it's not showing nearly as green as it actually looks, but there you go. All right, let's bring you up overhead here. Sorry for the jarring. There we go. Swaz says she's been painting more than collaging. And okay, I'll definitely pass along the love, Francine, for sure. Francoise, oh my goodness. I can't walk and chew gum, Francoise. If I have another thought in my head, I am so screwed. Oh dear. All right, so I will probably start by just taking a look through a few of my fashion magazines and just clipping out stuff that catches my eye. And then I'm just going to see where that goes. Well, that image right there is a perfect example of what's crazy about fashion, what's wrong with fashion, yeah. Legs that look thinner than my arm. Oh dear. There's definitely going to be some fun, some crazy stuff to play with. Black and white stuff too, that's kind of fun. And so let me know in the comments. I'll be sort of back and forth between the comments and working. So if you comment and I don't get right back to you, I will in a few minutes. But let me know what a few of you said you don't have a plan, or let me know what you're thinking, what your plan is, or what your lack of plan is. And we'll see how it goes. It's kind of fun. Those very pale outfits. That's pretty great. I'm not usually a fan of checks, but she's rocking them. Those boots they might find their way into something. So many cool boots. My black and white pile. Oh, that's so great. Probably find everything I need in this one magazine. There are worse things. I love the shot, both for the scale change, right? We've got the woman in the foreground and then the woman in the background. The scale change is great, but also just like how plain this one is. It's just so what something plainer you expect in the background, but she's, you know, just so simple lines and right up front, and then the detail sort of, you look past her to see the detail of her dress and purse and so on. Yeah, that's fun. That's such an outlandish image. You gotta love it. Check out the makeup. It's like it's striped on her lower lid, which is pretty fun. I do love that there's more adventurous artistic makeup rather than just straight ahead. Nowadays, and it's a little more mainstream. Isn't this fun? This sort of white above and below. That's so cool. The challenge is for me with fashion stuff and great imagery in general is to, Kim's going to want that one too. That's the cover image again. Is to make, with collage, to make it enough your own, right? Rather than just like, oh, that's such a great image, I'll just glue that down, right? To do enough to show the artist's hand and not just ride on the power of the existing imagery, which can be jaw-dropping, right? But that's the nature of collage, is that it's about what you do with it, right? How you transform it, how you change it, how you put a different spin on it. So I did jot down some ideas, but I wasn't sure whether any of them were any good. I had like 5 minutes this morning. And one thought was to do something like, some of you are probably familiar with Exquisite Corpse, the idea of when you fold some paper, fold a piece of paper and the first person does the head and the next person does the torso and the next person does the legs and the next person does the feet without seeing what's before it. But I could do something like that with strips from different figures. I also thought that playing with some scale changes, like playing with a really large face and then a figure, might be interesting. Maybe intercutting them. So that said, I should probably make sure I have, I think I only have one really. She's really the only large face I have, but large faces should be easy to find. So just get a couple more. And textile waste. Oh, so that works perfectly for your Cherie. That works perfectly for your theme, doesn't it? Yeah, real fabric scraps. That would be great. I have seen, I don't know where I've seen it, but images of, I think it's waste clothing that has been like trash compacted and bound up. So it's like this huge, like 2 meter by 2 meter or 1 meter by 1 meter cube with ropes or binding, so that it's like really, really compressed. So it's like this this rag dice, except it doesn't have the dots on it. But that That kind of thing would be cool, wouldn't it? Yeah, fashion has a lot to answer for in so many ways, right? In all the body image nightmares, and in the resource nightmares, like all the disposable fashion. That is a travesty. And so much now, like I have pieces of clothing that date from the 90s that have like made in Canada in them. You know, it's like, it's really hard to find anything made in Canada. We used to buy a lot of our clothing at Mountain Equipment Co-op, and they sourced a bunch of stuff from